with Pastor P. We're here today to just educate you, live and learn, and most of all, we want to grow together. I'm the type of person that I want to learn from you. I hope that you can learn from me, and we both can grow together. So I ask that if anybody that's on here, I would trust that you'll take a look at my videos, like, subscribe, join us because we have so much information to share with you. And not only that, we want to hear from you. We want to know what's going on in your life. We want to know the struggles and the pain and the good things as well. So let us know what's on your mind. Let us know what's going on because this is the place. I love to have real talk. You know, even though I'm a preacher and I'm a pastor, I love real talk. And what do I mean by that? I want to talk about power. I want to talk about money. I want to talk about relationships. I want to talk about sex. I want to talk about things that everybody's talking about in the streets, in the workplace, but they don't get that holy perspective. They don't get that biblical perspective because everything that is made, God has made. So I want you to be able to share that with you and share it with me so that we can grow and learn from one another. Glad to have you home.
Amen. Amen. Amen, y'all. So we on both channels. We're in the King's Crown with Pastor P and Living According to Crystal.
Yes.
So subscribe to both channels if you are not subscribed. I love when my husband is here because he has a way of articulating things a whole lot better than I. I get all excited and tongue tied and stuttering and all that, but he speaks so much clearer and eloquently, and so I love to hear his perspective on things. So everybody give my husband a shout out for being on the channel because he's been having a day, but he is mustering through it to support me and also grow his community on his channel. So I love that. I love that. I love this man.
Absolutely. And I hope that, when you guys join on my channel, Wearing the King's Crown with Pastor P, there's so much to offer. I know on my wife, Living According to Crystal, she's going to give all you ladies everything that you want and more, from makeup to eyelashes to dress to everything. You can get all of that from her, and as well as you will get some type of biblical uplifting. Everything she does is in Jesus, and likewise with me. I deal with faith. I deal with crisis. I deal with relationships. I deal with dress. I love to dress and do different things like that. But not only that, I love to give real hard information. So if you want to learn how to overcome obstacles, how to overcome relationships, and how relationships should be, we talk about those things. I am not shy by no means to talk about any of that. So while you're on here, ask your questions. Let us know what you think. If you have a question, raise your hand, put it in the comments. We want to hear from you because it's because of you we are here.
That's right. That's right. We're all about building community. And thank you, Demi. Demi is streaming on both channels. All right now. Thank you. Thank you, guys. If you are just joining the live, please subscribe to the channel. We're live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're committed to the live. Even if we're having a bad day, we want to come on here because just being around y'all make us feel better. Look, live, your live is blowing up. All right.
Come on. Yeah.
Subscribe to Wearing the King's Crown with Pastor P. We're talking about life lessons. I'm going to give my thought and perspective, and then he'll give a man's point of view, and he'll put some Jesus point of view with it. So, ready to go to the next topic? I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, we're not sure about what you're saying, Bree Bresson. I'm not sure about that. We don't deal with that. So we deal with real topics, real discussions. So how you're saying that, I'm not sure. Hey, let's be real.
My husband says the nice way. I'm gonna say Bree dressing. Go on somewhere with that. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about, but crack some money for the lady. That's not this type of channel. No, so please move along. Go on to the next channel. We're not about that. This is a wholesome channel, and we love Jesus over here, and we're all about uplifting the community and building friendship and fellowship. So we're not about that. And Bree, you will get blocked. Oh my gosh, we need to make a moderator. We can click on him and block him.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm trying to see. Hold on, y'all. We trying to block.
We're just trying to. Hey, we want to have real discussions, but we don't want no foolishness, y'all.
Yes.
Let's just refrain from foolishness. Hey, I love real talk. Let's be real, but let's not be foolish. I'm about that real, and I'm about that life too. It depends on what.
Okay, so I think I got him going. Okay.
But people are wondering where we're from. I know some people want to ask where we're from. We are from Texas. great state of Texas. You know, my wife, she's from Tennessee. She's been here for a long time. She's a Texas native now. I'm born, raised, as you can see on my shirt. I just what it is. I'm from Oak Cliff. I represent Oak Cliff. This is a part of Texas. That's part of Dallas, Texas. So that's my hood. That's my home. But God has brought me a mighty long way. And now, you know, my hood and my home is with Jesus in heaven. And that's where I look toward. So I want to have some real conversation. So glad that you guys can join. You're welcome to put your questions and comments into the comment section. We want to be able to hear from you, and I want you to be able to hear from us. So he said, yeah.
He used to be the moderator on my channel until he started going live on his channel. So now he can moderate. So we need a moderator.
So Demi, if you're gonna be on here, I would end up making you the moderator. If that's what you want to do.
You want to be a moderator? You want to do that, Demi? Because we could add you right now to the moderation. We'll do it. Okay, I put you on there. I don't know if it gives you an option to accept it or not, but we add you as a moderator. Keep the foolishness out. We don't have time for that.
Man, JFF, you're in the Netherlands. Boy, we're so glad to have you all across country. Glad that you can join us today. You need to tell us what's going on in the Netherlands.
I'm going to go ahead and talk about the next life lesson, and we want to hear from you. The next one is never go to bed angry. Going to bed angry can have a psychological effect and may send negative signals to your brain. Being angry can also disrupt your sleep. If you had a fight with someone, try to resolve it. Consider venting it out to a friend or communicating with them about your feelings. I definitely agree with that. Never go to bed angry, especially in a relationship with your spouse. I don't feel like you ever should go to bed angry. You should be praying when you go to bed. If one go to bed before the other one, I think that y'all at least need to pray together before the first person goes to bed. That way you won't go to bed mad at your spouse. I feel like how you go to bed is how you're going to wake up. You're going to go to bed mad, wake up still mad. You need to resolve it before going to bed angry. Definitely a good life lesson. What do you think?
I mean, first of all, I want to get a good rest, so I don't like going to bed angry. I feel like that we should talk some things out beforehand, and I think it needs to be rational, you know, and not emotional. Emotional gets us into places that we don't want to be. That's where we get up, slam doors, and do things like that. And sometimes we just have to be able to talk things out, have a calm voice, first and foremost, and be able to have sound conversation. At least if you don't resolve it, at least come to some type of medium where you can at least pray before you go to bed. And go to bed. At least the both of you can go to bed and sleep and wake up and deal with it the next day. But at least you don't go to bed angry or wake up angry. Now you're waking up and you're fussing and fighting throughout the whole day. That's not a good thing for any type of relationship, whether you're with your homeboy, your homegirl. It does not matter. You know, some things just need to be resolved. You know, and you have to be able to know how to communicate. Second thing, you have to know how to communicate. You know, just because you get mad and go to cussing and going crazy, that's not the way to handle things. You're only igniting a fire to the gasoline. So I just think that we need to have an understanding. And then if you don't understand, and you say, hey, you said this, is this what you mean? And this is how we can try to resolve certain issues and work together. That's extremely important. How we talk, how we communicate, and then we make sure that we're on the same page. That's highly important. So, you know, talk show, I think we answered this, you know, before that we're from Texas. Been here for a long time. Dallas, more specifically. You know, I'm a type of person. I've been a little bit everywhere. When I was young, I was going all places from Texas to Florida, Georgia, everywhere in between, California, everywhere in between. It's almost no place I haven't been except for New York, Detroit, but Chicago all the way down. I've been there. So I've been a lot of places.
And I want to add a little bit more to that. Don't go to bed angry. The amazing thing about our relationship, and people don't believe it, or they think like it can happen. We don't argue. We don't argue. Like arguing or anger is like my last emotion. I'll just like not say anything before I'm angry or yelling or arguing. And he's a communicator. He'll be like, you're quiet, what's the matter? And
Do we have disagreements? Absolutely. That's just what it is. When I notice she's quiet, I know there's something going on. So I, you know, want to initiate a proper conversation so that I understand where she is. And if I need to give her that time, I give her that time. But if it's something that we need to address somewhat, then break away and come back to it, then we'll do that. But at least we do that together and not just out of, spite or because I'm just mad. And most people who disagree, they feel like they have to argue and fight because they disagree. Disagreement doesn't always mean that you have to do that. It's just that just because I see things differently, that's a good thing. We don't have to fight and fuss over things because we disagree. And I think that's important. And how you communicate those things means so much.
Demi, I'm trying to fix you. You say you cannot comment on this channel, but you can act as a moderator. I'm not sure if I did something wrong on his. Let me try to do this different moderator to see if that works.
Yeah, we made you a standard, so you should be able to
let's see if how
comment.
that does. I'm not sure. I'm not sure of that, but hopefully that works. But yes, that is definitely a good life lesson. Never go to bed angry. I agree with that one. The next one, do you want to read one or?
Yeah. One of the things about relationships is how do we deal with money? Who handles the money? Who pays the bills? And then not only that, how do you start saving early? Most people, do not think that saving when they are young. However, when you need to understand how to save early in a relationship, in a relationship, people want to go on trips. They want to do things. They want to have this, and money can be, the love of money can be the root of all evil. But when you have money and you're working together with somebody else, it's important that who's the best at it, who's the best paying bills, and how can you grow and excel together with one another. So money can be something that can separate a person or a relationship, but also money can bring people together when they're working together. So let me ask you this: anybody that's out there that they're in a relationship and they have bank accounts with their loved ones, they're married, etc. How do you handle that? Who runs it? Who pays the bills? And how does that work for you in your home?
Mm-hmm. So what did you read this one? Start saving early.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I was gonna get into that. I want to know that first, and we're gonna start saving early.
Okay. Okay. Yay, Demi! I think we fixed it. Thank you. So while we're waiting on you to comment, it says, I thought you was doing this about time is more important than money, but you're doing start saving early. Okay, you want to wait? I'll let you.
Yeah. Okay, so really with that, what do you think about saving money early? A lot of people they want to splurge to get a new house, new furniture, new cars, things like that. But are you comfortable to hey, let's stack our money so that we can do more in the future, or do you believe in spending the money that you have now? Mm-hmm. And think about this. In today's time, we have these tariffs that's going to come up in tomorrow morning, to be more specifically. Mm-hmm. Things of products that we buy going up, things that we purchase on a day-to-day basis going up, even the trips that you're wanting to go into. Do you believe in starting to save early? How do you think about that? I mean, what do you think about that as far as saving money? That can be individually, that can be relationship wise or marriage wise. How do you guys feel about that? I know for me, I'm always about saving money. I'm bigger than the 80-20 rule. What I like to do, I don't like to live off 100% of what I make, because that means I'm living paycheck to paycheck. And if I'm living paycheck to paycheck, when things go wrong, I don't have money. So what I do, I learn to live off 70% of the money that I make. Mm-hmm. And because I live off 70% of the money that I make, I do 10% is going to tithe to the Lord. That money is going to God. Another 10% is coming to me because I want to save money too. Mm-hmm. And that other 10% I can use how I want to use on those extracurricular things. Because I like to go to comedy clubs. I like to go out and eat. I like to see things. So I have a little expenditure that I can use money, but I can still pay my bills. Another thing with that, when talking about saving money, I put that money aside to save, but how I work my bills, I pay extra on my bills. So when my electric bill, my light bill, my water bill comes in, mm-hmm. I'm giving twice as much. Mm-hmm. So when the next month's bill, I'm not fixated with having to spend all my money again. So a lot of times that could be an issue in a household. Mm-hmm. How do you guys do that? I want to hear from you. What do you do in those type of situations?
Mm-hmm. I think it's important to know too, in relationships, who is stronger with the money and who is weak. If you both are bad with money, y'all need to seek some help to help y'all get y'all finances together. But I think that two becoming one, that's not something that happened overnight. As you get married and in the relationship, you kind of learn, and you'll know who gonna save the money and who gonna spend the money. I'm saying all important, but we both are good with money. We get the things we want, as y'all can see. But our bills are paid, our credit is good, and we tithe.
I ain't worried about my bills.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
they
pay
take
our
care of it.
bills. But I say all that to say, if you're in a relationship, I feel like you need to know who is best able to handle money and let that person control money, because money is one of the biggest reasons people divorce. So let the person who is strong with the money handle the money, and trust your spouse. You married him or her, so trust your spouse with the money and let them manage the money. Because I've had friends in relationships, they both bad with money. They borrowing $10 from each other so they get paid next week and all that. I have never wanted that type of relationship. Let me borrow $10 and then I gotta pay you back. Like, y'all gotta figure out who has the best handle of the money and let them handle it. And if you both are bad, get some help or somebody to teach you how to manage your money.
You know, and I'm gonna tell you something. I've managed for 20 plus years. I've managed in the financial realm. I've managed in the social media analytics. I've done a whole lot. I've been in a leadership role for 25 plus years. And I'm gonna tell you something. One of the biggest things that I've had is having work-life balance. Because you're salaried, you know, of course they get more hours out of you than what they actually pay you. Because there's times when you're needed more on the workplace than those hourly positions. Those hourly positions, we minimize overtime, but when it comes to salary, you get paid regardless, whatever. So when I think about that, I think about how to manage my work-life balance. And Demi brought this up, you know, you need to learn to make work-life balance. One thing I want to tell anybody, your work will always be there. I don't care what. I think that everybody need to stop and take a lunch at some point. Sometimes we do work through lunches, you know, but yet and still, there's certain time where you have to take that break. It's for your mental. I've been there and done that, because if something should happen to you, trust me, they're going to have a wreck out there and get somebody in there to do your job just as easily. And the way the mental capacity, the way people are today, you want to make sure you take care of yourself. So work-life balance is a must. If you need to go to the doctor, if you need to take care of your children, take that time out to do that. That work is going to be there. And what we have to do is prioritize a lot better. You know, a lot of people, they don't prioritize. They work, they just take one thing at a time and work it. But we need to know what's urgent. Find out what's more important. Work those things first. And not only that, we have to learn how to delegate. Delegate that work to somebody who can help. You have people on your team who are aspiring to be a manager or a supervisor. Put them in certain roles that they can help you and manage that process. And that way, that takes a little bit off of you so that you can work on something else. We have to learn to be smarter, work smarter, and not harder. And those are the things that would help you in your work-life balance. So, you know, I think because, you know, some people, they avoid the hurting relationships, that they have fallen into a certain lifestyle, because when you have that pain at home, then you find yourself working because you don't want to go home. You find yourself doing more things outside of home because you want to make sure that you are healing on the inside. So we use work as a crutch because that's a place of peace for us now, when our home should be peace. So we have to learn to not only take care of ourselves, take a lunch. You know, when it's time for you to leave, sometimes you have to just stop and say, I'm going home. You know, that work will be there tomorrow, even if you have to come in early and start that. But usually, you know, we have to do that because there's people who want to work out, people who want to spend time with their children, spend time with their loved ones. And how can you do that if your life is all about work? You can damage your relationship, even lose your relationship, because your work has become your God.
Yes, and Jester Mac asked about what supplement do we recommend for mental health. I've taken ashwagandha.
Yes, absolutely.
Ashwagandha, that works. I've taken the chewable ones are in a red, no, maybe in a blue container. They're chewables. I can't remember the name of them, but ashwagandha. I don't know how to spell it, but it's called ashwagandha.
It is ashwagandha.
That really has helped me when I'm feeling stressed out or anxious or something like that. It just kind of relaxes me. You know, of any other supplement, I think that's all I know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Dr. Sebi has a lot. I take soy salt. I take, oh my God. I take a lot of supplements that has a lot of not antibiotics, but what do you call that? That fight against like tumor.
Probiotics.
Yeah, probiotics. It fights against a lot of cancerous things. And matter of fact, I'm going to step away and I'm going to go get my things in a second, and we'll go over those things. But those are things that you can tip that you can take that while you have a stressful lifestyle or work. These pills will help rejuvenate your body in those times of need, and be able to restore all those cells that you're losing because of stress. Stress causes you to lose hair. You see, I don't have no hair no more. Stress causes you to turn white. I'm silver fox now. Just stress has a way of doing that to your body. And I give an example. When you find a president that goes into office, when you see them when they first go in and the time they leave, for example, Barack Obama, when he went in, he had all dark hair, but when he left, he had all gray hair. It was because of stress.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So exercise, doing things for yourself helps you alleviate the pain that you have to go through. But I will give you some information on those supplements that I take. I know we take the soursop, the ashwagandha. I'm just really having a brain freeze. I take several things that will just help you, help you from an aging standpoint, help you from arteries and clogging arteries and things like that. Some people like to take the honey and the I'm tripping. What is that?
Turmeric?
No.
I don't know.
No, the vinegar stuff.
Apple cider vinegar?
Apple cider vinegar and honey and water. That's good for your arteries. That's good for your heart. That's good for your overall functionality of your blood vessels and keeping your lungs. I take fish oil as well. Fish oil is good for your lungs, your artery, and your heart. So those are the things that I take. Now, Demi said that I've learned to take lunch breaks, usually as to work out. That's a good thing. Take that time to go work or walk around the block or walk around in your job. She says she has a second source of income. I'm like you. I don't believe in just believing on my job, just one source of income. I believe in having a second source of income. Get involved in something that can bring you extra income into your home. Whether it's a multi-level marketing scheme or whether you do something on the side, find something that you're passionate about and do it. And that's going to help you financially. It's going to help your home. It does not matter. And you never know. That one thing may open up a door to where you can leave your job. It depends on how much focus you put into it and how much you're committed to it at the same time.
And Jester, I see you said that you feel like your mental health is going down because of stress. I was just going to show you this self-care journal that I use, and journaling helps while he's pulling up things. Journaling helps for me, and maybe something you want to try and see how you feel. I kind of like write the days when I'm really stressed out, or the times in my life when I'm really stressed out. I use a self-care journal, and it just asks you questions about how are you feeling this morning? What will make your day great? What are you looking forward to today? And then at the end of the day, it asks you what are 2 great things that happened for you today. Because a lot of times when you're going through stress, especially at work, it's hard for you to see the good things, because the bad things, you're always focusing on the bad things that you go through. But journaling helps you see all the good things, the things you're grateful for, the blessings that you have. So journaling helps me when I'm stressed out in my mental health, and getting a lot of sleep, because I will. When I'm stressed out, I'll be sleeping a lot. And the ashwagandha really helps.
Yeah, and you know what? Depression can lead to a lot of other things. And I'm just I'm a proponent to just be an example, but a testimony. It was once in my life I was so depressed. I wanted to, I thought about suicide. I thought about some things that was detrimental to me, but because of I was rooted in the Lord. I knew that wasn't the way to go. The Bible tells us that we need to pick up our cross and follow Him. There's certain things that are just not going to be easy. There are certain things that will get you down. But when we trust in the Lord with all of our heart and our mind, He knows how to lift us up and keep us moving forward. But depression and anxiety, is a part of us not taking care of ourselves too, because we have allowed outside influences to cause us to implode. Now, let me explain this. There's two differences between an implosion and an explosion. What you're used to seeing is an explosion that comes from the outside. When demolitions, they explode a building and it comes down. That's from the outside. But when you do an implosion, that's when the bombs are set on the inside of the building, where it's an implosion, and that's where, like, when, you know, and I'll give an example for what people go through. What people go through, explode, and we get mad, and I just explode on you. But an implosion is when you don't say nothing. When you leave the home and leave the kids, you don't say anything, you come back ready to kill everybody else. That's an implosion. That's what we used to say, they going postal. Because they just going through so much. Now they've just snapped on the inside. An implosion can be much worse than an explosion, because you have more expectations from an explosion than you do from an implosion. So I want to encourage you today. You need to fight that as much as you can, and just know that I've never seen a storm that stayed. All these storms and tornadoes, they come and they go. And do you know that after a storm comes, we have some of the brightest days that ever come. So I just need you to hold on to your faith. God has not given you a spirit of fear, but he's given you a power, love, and sound mind. And don't let him ever take your mind, because that is your controlling power to everything that you are. So you be encouraged, you be uplifted, and know that God is on your side, even at your deepest point. The Bible tells us, say, let the weak say I'm strong.
All right now. Yes.
So
right
you
now,
are strong.
Jester, if you feel like you weak, say you strong. That's what the word say. Let the weak say
Speak
I'm
it
strong.
into existence.
That's right. That's
and God will begin to work for you.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And find something that you love to do, kind of like what he said. Like, even though some days I have like a bad day or a stressful day, but when I come on my YouTube or I come in here and play and makeup and all the things, that brightens up my day. So find something that brings you joy and do that. Even like today, like we said earlier, if you didn't catch it, Love was having a really rough day, feeling all sad and stuff, but now look how happy he is. Just him talking and encouraging y'all is brightening his day. We are doing the Lord's work over here.
That's my passion. That's what I do.
So find something that you're passionate about, and that'll help.
There are certain days when you just wake up and you take a left turn and you go a direction that you did not plan on going on. You wake up and find out that you thought that you were going to work, but you find out you have a flat tire. You wake up and think that you're going one direction, you get a phone call or somebody's in the hospital. You don't know what life has to bring to you that's going to cause you to detour, and you have to be able to be ready to change on a dime. I tell the people that I mentor, people who are my subordinates at work and etc., you have to be change agents, because things always change. And all these, I don't care where you work, you have different policy changes, things are just not communicated well, things are changing all the time. And to be a change agent means that you may not always get the information the way you want it, but you have to be able to adapt and change.
And that's one of the life lessons it says on here. One, you cannot control everything. Whether in your personal or professional life, you must understand that you cannot control everything. There may be situations where you may have to let it go or look for an alternative. The sooner you realize it, the better it will be. So Jester, there may be some things that you can't control, and that's all right. You don't have to control everything. God is in control. Just trust in him, pray, believe in him, and the things work in your circle. Some things that, especially, don't look at the news. The news right now is depressing, and it will have you going crazy. So if you already got a lot of stuff going on, I would even turn on the TV, because that make me even more sadder. But just understand that you can't control everything, but you know who is in control. Next one. You want to do another one?
Well, I think to your point, I need to ask everybody out there, have you ever made a plan for yourself? Have you ever started a business? And if you ever started a business, you created a business name, and then you had a plan for that business. Why is it that we have a plan for a business, but we don't have a plan for ourselves? Very important that you have a plan for you and how how you plan to operate, how do you plan to move. If you're going to start an LLC, a limited liability company, that means that you're going to incorporate with the state of Texas. You're going to partner up with the state so that you can have a business. And the two things that they want to know from you, they want to know if you have articles of organization and do you have an operating agreement. They want to know how you're going to operate. See, we do more for our business than we do for ourselves. And we need to find out each day, what am I going to do? What do I plan to accomplish? We need to write out plans for our lives that in 3 months, I would like to see me being in this place. And in 6 months, I want to be able to position myself to get a raise or get a promotion at the job. I want to be able to be a mentor and have someone mentor me. You know, so, you know, and it doesn't have to be in the job. It can be in the church. Because a lot of times we want to grow spiritually, but we don't know how. Sometimes the pastor doesn't always have the time. Or you have a deacon, you have people that you can go to, and they can set out, you know, agendas and plans so that you can abide by. Because if you study and find out those things, it will grow you. And then after that, the Bible says God will open up doors for you. And more specifically, he said your gift will make room for you. When you find out and start working in the gift that you have, there's something that you can do that you do with ease that everybody have a hard
That's
time
what
doing.
Demi said. She's doing her lock maintenance. She's setting up a business for that.
Come on
her
now.
lock studio. Yeah, so Demi, your gift is going to make room for you. So, amen. Keep on doing that. That was good. That was right on time. She needed to hear that.
See, for example, Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx has been in movies, he's been in songs, he's been in comedy, he's been in sitcoms, but it was one thing that got him to the top, and that was being in comedy. Being in comedy opened up doors, his gift made room for him. Shaquille O'Neal is another one. You see Shaquille O'Neal now on TV now, like he ain't playing basketball no more, but his gift was playing basketball. But his gift made room for him. He's made record deals, he's been in movies, he's been in sitcoms, he's doing commercials all the time. And it just seemed like God is just blessing him over and over and over. All we have to do is find that one thing, and God will bless, and you'll be surprised and amazed at it.
Yes. This is one thing I want to touch on. It's kind of changing this subject a little bit, but I kind of mentioned it in the beginning of our live. It's again, we're talking about life lessons, things that you should have learned within your 40s or 50s. And if you have not learned these things, hopefully just hearing from us and people commenting, you can learn and not have to go through some of the things in life that we have gone through. And one of the things I think is very important, especially at our age. It says have an action plan for your aging parents. When you are approaching your 40s, your parents might be or may have already reached retirement age. It is time to switch roles and think about them as well. This is one of the reasons why you should start saving early so that you can have a financial plan for your parents at this age. I think a lot of people don't think about that, especially when you are just, going through your own life. You got to think about your parents. As we're getting older, if your parents are still with us, they're getting older, and you need to have some type of action plan for your aging parents, and you need to work that out with your spouse. If something happened, our parents are going to come live with us. Are we going to send them somewhere? I think at this age, if you haven't started thinking about it, this is the perfect time now to start thinking about an action plan for your aging parents. Because like Pastor always say, everybody has a time when the Lord going to call them home, and you need to have just an action plan for your aging parents. Comment on that, love. Let the people know, because that's important that some people don't think about.
Yeah, a lot of times we go on in our lives and we never make an escape route for our parents. And then the first thing that we're left to do is put them in a home. Is that really what you want to do? I mean, they took care of you while you were a baby. They paid Pampers and did all those things when you couldn't do anything. But now the roles has reversed, and now we don't want to put that time in with them because they're older. So we have to make provision. I think now in today's time, since we've been married, we've been thinking more about our parents more than anything. If one of them may need to come live with us, how will we take care of them? And in every home, you have an escape route. If the house catches on fire, which room or which door do we go out of? How do we plan? Do we have a rendezvous point that we can meet? Likewise, we have to do that for our aging aging parents, because as they get older, they won't be able to do things for themselves. Let alone,
Mm-hmm.
we might get sick and have to take care
Mm-hmm.
of each other. So,
Mm-hmm.
do you have a downstairs bedroom that may help you? All your bedrooms upstairs, and do you have a place where you can take care of them? Those are just some things that you need to start thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have money set aside to help them if they don't have money to get medicine, if they don't have money to get things?
They're trying to take
Uh,
away Social Security
oh
and
my
Medicare,
God,
so you may
yes.
have to help your parents. So, yeah, it's definitely something that you should start thinking about. Life lessons in your 40s and 50s. If you haven't thought about them, we are here to help you just change your way of thinking or see things from a different point of view. Have a action plan for your parents. Get some life insurance on them if they don't have
Absolutely,
insurance.
absolutely.
Just in case the Lord calls them home, we want to send them.
Yeah, $10,000 is enough to get them buried. To be honest with you, it may not be extravagant, but it will do what it needs to do to have a proper burial. And of course, I would say if you can get more than that, 15 or 20 would be even better. But definitely want to think about that. And you'll be surprised how many people who do not have life insurance. They get a certain age where they had insurance. Once they turn 75, then that they have term or a whole life and it's expired. If they don't renew it, they lose it. So they don't have insurance at that time. Even jobs offer between 10 and 20% on benefits if your spouse or somebody should pass, that you can have them covered. Take advantage of all those things, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen to you. So it's something to think about for sure.
Yes. Again, this is Living According to Crystal. We're in the King's Crown with Pastor P. If you are just checking out the channels, the lives, please subscribe. I'm sorry, I got someone calling me.
Yeah.
Please subscribe to both channels. Today we're just talking about life lessons, things that we have gone through in our life, and hopefully we can help you through some of the things. We are definitely open to questions. I don't know if I lost. What happened? Did I lose? My internet connection.
Reconnect.
My internet's going down. Am I still on here? See if I'm still on here. This is what happened last week. I lost connection last week. I don't know if we're still on here or not. We may be gone on Living According to Crystal. I may have lost you on my channel. I think we are gone. Are we still up?
We're still on. You on. You on.
I'm still up? Okay.
Yeah.
We're still on. We're still on. Okay. We're on both channels. Oh, okay, great. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I lost you. My internet connection went down. So subscribe to both channels if you are just checking out the live. I feel like we have some great topics. We definitely want to hear from you. If you have a topic that you would like to discuss, please put it in the comment section. So Jester Mack asked something you want to...
Yeah, Jester stated, and if you don't mind me stating that, how to fix a broken relationship with your father. I've counseled people for years. I've seen the brokenness from every aspect of a home: mother, father, son, daughter, uncle, grandparent, etc. Unfortunately, I really would need some more input, and I'm not sure if you're ready or willing to share with that, because we need to know what is broken. Is it the communication? Is the relationship? Have they been out of your life? Have they done something to you that's been tragic, or is it something that they neglected you? I mean, it's a lot of questions I have to ask in order to understand how to answer that question. So, but I would tell you this, and if I just give you like a generic, some feedback as it relates to mending a broken relationship with your father, sometimes the child has to become the parent.
Yes.
Sometimes the child has to be above the parent, because parents have never been through this too. They're learning just like you're learning. Even though you expect them to be the parent, they know everything. They don't. So with that being said, I would expect that if you have a difference between them, go to them and have an honest conversation. Let them know how you feel, and then allow them to explain how they feel, so that hopefully that you guys can communicate and come to some meaningful ground that can bond you back together. But until you understand what's going on with them and how whatever they've done to affect you or vice versa, it's hard to see how you can bring that relationship back together. But I will tell you this, it can be done. Two people have to be willing to work together. And there will be some offenses sometimes. There will be some struggles and some stubbornness that people don't want to admit to. Because a lot of people don't want to take accountability. When they done something wrong, they don't want to say I did it. They want to they want to be like Adam. It was the woman that God gave me. No, it was you. It was you. And we have to take that accountability. The last thing I want to share with you is this. We have to learn how to forgive people. Because if they've done something to you, it's best that you learn how to forgive. And forgiving don't mean you keep throwing it up in their face. Forgiving means, hey, I understand you're not perfect, you're not right, but I forgive you. When you truly learn how to forgive somebody, then God will begin to work in your life and move things in your life. Because how do we expect Jesus to forgive us if we can't forgive people who did something against us? So once we start forgiving people, God can begin to work on our behalf.
Yes, and I'll add something before he reads your comment and comment on that. I think that people are a product of their environment. So your father may be how he is from how he was raised, and that may have been his normal. But now you have been out and exposed to the world and seen other things, and it's not normal to you. But in his mind, he feel like it's okay. So I feel like you definitely need to give your parents some grace in some areas, but still let them know when they have offended you, and that how you need to definitely have boundaries in your relationship. Sometimes that person is not going to you're not going to get what you need from them, and they may not ever apologize because they may not ever feel like that what they did is wrong, but you just have to forgive them for you, not for them, because they're moving on with their life, not thinking about he did anything wrong or said anything wrong to you when you were a child, but you still hurt from it. So forgive him for yourself so you can move on. Speaking of hurt people, that is so true. And with you saying your father was abusive, it could have been because he was hurt or he was abused. So that's what he thinks is right.
Again, he was a product of his environment. Some people don't know how to handle things right. And it's unfortunate. You would expect your parents to be able to do things in the way we would want them to do. Sometimes they have hiccups in life, just like you and I. But be thankful that you have a parent. Demi just stated that both her parents have already transitioned. But here you have an opportunity to mend a relationship. It's important no matter what they've done, no matter what they've said. Think about it from this perspective. If somebody gave you $1 million and you lost out on 500,000 of it, but you still can get the rest of it, wouldn't you still want it? So here, your father has missed out a lot in your life. He's missed out on times that are valuable and precious. But whatever time he does have, he wants to take advantage of it. And I would think that you want to take advantage of it too. So you have to start somewhere. You have to be able to make that call, make that communication. And it may not be easy. It may even take some time. But, don't just jump right into it. Learn to get to know one another like you do anything else, because he has grown and you have grown. And you're in a different position than what he is. He may not be the person that you knew him to be. He may be totally different, got on his right mind now. And he may not. But we have to give that person an opportunity if they want to be in your life.
And I think it's okay, Jester, to ask. You said now that you are getting successful, now you feel like, what is it that you want? I feel like it's perfectly fine to say that to him. You could ask him, like, have an open, honest communication. And the truth hurts sometimes. He may not want to hear it, but it's your perspective and how you felt. Dad, you were not in my life. You were gone. I needed you all these years. I was able to move on and become the man that I am now without you. Now that you're back, what is it that you want from me? He could have some ulterior motives, or he could be coming back to try to make it right. Some people don't apologize. They just try to do better instead of apologizing. So him trying to come around may be his way of apologizing. I've seen before, like, parents who were not good parents to their own child, when they have a grandkid, they try to overdo and show their grandkids so much love to make up for the wrong that they've done to their own child. So he may just be coming around trying to make it right without actually apologizing. So those grandparents like overdo it to the grandchild instead of apologizing for the wrong that they did with raising them. So this may just be his way of apologizing for coming back. But if that's something you need to know, I definitely feel like it's very valid, and you should ask, what is it that you want now? Do you really want to be in my life because you care about me and want to be here, or are you here for my success? Like,
yeah.
I feel like it's okay to ask.
And you know
think
what?
It's okay to ask?
Yeah, it is okay to ask. You know, and I just want to bring something up. I see one of my classmates, one of my pastor friends just joined. You know, if you don't know him, Snap is Catfish. You know, if you ever had him in West Dallas, you need to go see him when he's open.
Delicious.
Oh, the fish is I can say to die for, but it's good.
It's to live for,
You know?
okay?
But it's good. So, you know, I normally post when he's open. Go check him out. I'll put his information out there. But I'm going to tell you something. This man has been a mentor to me. He's been somebody I've looked up to for years. He says he looks up to me, but I look up to him as well. Because I'm going to tell you something, Demi and Jester, you have not gone through what this man has gone through. And I don't think he minds me giving somewhat of a testimony, you know, for somebody to have a marriage and be in love with his wife and to find out that his wife has cancer and passed away. That's a hard thing to do, and to raise two young children at that. And not only that, his wife passed away. He went on about his life doing the things he was doing, preaching the gospel, still running his business. And then lo and behold, you know, he ended up losing his mother. You know,
My Lord.
he lost his mother. Not only that, after that, he lost his son. He lost one of his children. And not only that, it didn't even stop there. His dad passed away. So here he is having a family, an immediate family that's gone. And I'm not even finished. His sister passed away after that. So how is it that you can keep a smile on your face, keep moving on, and keep living for the Lord? I'm telling you, he is an example to me that if I ever get in my deepest of lows, I can understand and look at his situation and say, God has strengthened him so much. There's nothing that, you know, I can't go through that I can't overcome, because he is absolutely an overcomer. When the Bible says that you are more than a conqueror, he has been more than a conqueror. He is somebody that I know he has a testimony, and I'm going to keep telling his testimony what he should be saying. So Jester and Demi, even though you've lost some things, God will restore you 100-fold in many ways. And then what you seem like you've lost, that's all right. You haven't lost it. It's just in another room that you can't go into. Because if you know that they died in the Lord, that one day when God calls you home, they'll be right there waiting to greet you, welcoming you into the kingdom, and knowing that it was God's purpose that brought you along the way. And he was testing your faith. He was building you up. He was making you stronger and better. And you would not have been that person that you are today if you had not have gone through the things that you went through. That's the why we have a testimony.
Read the book of Job. If you are Jester, I'm not. We haven't talked about relation. This is a pastor. I'm a first lady. We love the Lord over here. As for being my house, we will serve the Lord. So Jester, if you love the Lord, have a relationship with Christ. If you don't, just get you a Bible and read the book of Job. Job went through a lot of the stuff that he's saying that his friend went through, and just see what the Lord did for him. He restored Job, everything he lost. He got back 7 times. It's amazing. That book alone will let you see how God is going to take care of you no matter what you go through. All things going to work together.
I'm going to ask you, go to my channel.
Yes.
Wearing the King's Crown with Pastor P. Okay?
Yes, Jester.
I'm going to put it on there. I have videos where it talk about faith in the midst of a crisis. You know, do you have just as much faith as a chicken? If the chicken can sit on the egg and have enough faith knowing that something is going to hatch, God has put more into you to have more faith to know that he will do for you more than the chicken. I have some videos on there that I hope that would inspire you, would encourage you, and keep you motivated to keep moving forward. I have things on there about relationships, about divorce, the loss of a loved one. Go on there and check it out. Go, please like and subscribe. You know, I would love to have to grow my channel, but I'm about helping people. And if it helps you, subscribe. So whenever I put something out, I would trust that it will bless you, build you up, build your friends up, and so forth.
Yes, can you comment? That way he can see. He's going to comment on this channel, Jester, so you can see it on... Oh, are you locked?
No, I'm not. No, I can't do it.
You can't do it on that? Okay.
I gotta think of the password.
Okay, he's gonna comment. That way you can subscribe. And yes, Demi, yes, she said her relationship with her parents was amazing. I love that for you, Demi. She said she was just trying to speak peace for Jester. Yes, we got you. You were blessed. You were a blessed woman to have had both parents in your life, and amazing parents. I love that for you. And you're gonna see them again in heaven. You're gonna see them again. Y'all are gonna be a family again. So yes, Jester, he's gonna comment right now to let you see, and definitely check out his channel. We may be, oh, you got some new subscribers. All right, love. You growing over there. All right. Yes. Go subscribe to Wearing the King's Crown with Pastor P. He's about to comment on this channel, Jester. 62 years, my Lord. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. So you trying to figure out how to...
Hold on, yeah.
Okay. So he's gonna comment on there, or if Demi, if you can write the Wearing the King's Crown, just write it in the comments for us on my channel. That way Jester can get it and go subscribe, because I definitely want Jester to go over there. That way, if you need to connect with him outside of the channel, again, he is a pastor. He knows a lot of things, and him and Jesus is real close. Okay, he can pray for you and just encourage you, and just have a brotherly bond or love that that you may not want to share here. It was called Wearing the King's Crown with Pastor P. I think she tagged you at the King's Crown 828. Is that going to get you over there?
Yes.
It will. Okay. So I think you can click on that, or Wearing the King's Crown with Pastor P. Yes, Jester, we are here for you. I'm so happy and so thankful that you joined the live today. I don't know if I've seen you on here before, if I know you outside of the camera, but we are so happy that you are here. That's what the channel is all about. I know I do beauty, makeup, and all the things, but we are open to whatever the Lord, however the Lord wants to use our channels, or however the Lord wants to work through us. We are open for it. We wherever he say go, we gonna go. And so if this is the direction he's leading us to, we are here for it. We're gonna be obedient. So if one just hears what they need and finds Christ, we are rejoicing. We are rejoicing. So thank you so much for coming over to the live. And we're here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So you're welcome to come back. And then I don't know if he's going to stick Tuesdays. He might do his own day. We'll see. Right now we just do both channels at the same time. So I'm going to do since we don't have any other questions, I'm going to do another one of the life lessons, and then we can hear from the pastor. Okay. And then we'll see. Let me look. This again is life lessons, things you should have learned in your 40s or more. And if you have not learned these things, maybe you're new to it, and we want you to, yes, Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time is when we're here. You can't get it.
No, I can't get it, so I ain't worried about it. I'm not gonna fight with it.
Okay. But oh, I wish I had somebody to write it down, or I don't know.
Can you just type it in there, your thing?
I can't type on mine. It's gonna make you log out if you do that.
Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it then. Yeah, but if you type in Wearing the King's Crown with Pastor P, you'll pull up my face and you'll see it. Please go just like and subscribe. Wearing the King's Crown with Pastor P. P is in Peter. My name is Philip, so with a P. Yes. But you can definitely find it.
The next one I am excited for, because I feel like we both have just started doing this. Now that we've met, we may have done it a little bit before we met, but now that we are together and so happy and so in love, we are doing this more. And I think that in your 40s, this is time when you should start traveling more. It says most people turning 40 often leave their job or shift to full-time motherhood. While it is a crucial phase, you should not constrain yourself within the four walls of your house. Plan travel trips, enrich your experiences. You may consider making vacation plans with your family members or loved ones to improve your bond and relationship. I definitely think that in your 40s, you should start traveling more. You could take some staycations. Just go in your same state. Just like we're in Dallas, you can go to Houston, you can go to San Antonio. We did that. We went to San Antonio a couple of years ago. Where were we? We went to San Antonio. Were we in San Antonio?
Yeah, we were in San Antonio.
What was it called?
It was downtown, the
Riverwalk. The Riverwalk. That is a beautiful, beautiful place to go. Just travel more. You should do more in life than just work and pay bills and raise kids. It's time to travel more. So I think that is something that you definitely should do. There's so much out here in the world, and you won't even know it until you get out here and explore. So definitely travel more if you can. Create a budget, and just I think that's a life lesson. People should travel more. You got anything you want to comment
No,
about traveling?
one thing about traveling with somebody, you get to find out who they really are.
Yeah.
And I think when we went, we had these dating cards. We asked questions to kind of find out what's your thought process about relationship. How do you feel about two people
He
being
said he
in love?
subbed.
He said what?
He saw and he subbed you.
Awesome. Okay, good deal. So, it gave us time to really get to know one another, to get to feel each other out, because, hey, I can care less about your favorite food, your favorite color. I want to know who you are. How do you act when things really hurt you? How do you think when you get offended? You going to cuss me out? You going to treat me bad? You going to do me wrong? You going to talk to me about your friends? Those are the things that I want to know. Character means everything. Who are you when nobody's looking means everything. So when we were having these discussions on our road trip, we were able to find out who I was and who she was, and could we compromise? Could we bring things together? And although we may see things differently, can we still move forward? Because just because people disagree, they feel like they got to fall out and fight. No. I don't have to make her see what I see. We have to understand that I may see it differently. We can still move forward together. And that was the biggest part between both of us. And in doing so, we became the best friends. We just loved one another. I didn't let her nuances get to me.
What nuances?
And she didn't let my nuances get to her. Like she said before, if you heard been on her, you would see cups up, cups down. That's the thing that we use within a relationship, because she would come over to my house, my cups would be up. I come over to her house, her cups are down. Who's wrong? Y'all tell me who's wrong. And we had a discussion about
cups
that.
Down.
At the end of the day, they all clean.
Yes, they're all cups.
So, and they use.
Thank you, Demi.
So it's just the fact that just because we see things differently don't mean, that the other person is wrong.
So yes, travel more, and especially if you are married or in a relationship, travel with your spouse. That'll help rekindle the love, just to get away from your everyday world. Just go to a staycation. And oh, there he is. Good job, love. There's the channel wearing the King's crown. Demi did put the link directly to the channel in the comments, so thank you, Demi. Oh, we appreciate you for being our moderator. We love you for that. Let's see if there is another one we want to discuss. Leave where you're not valued. Is that something you want to discuss? Do not expect perfection from others.
Yeah, I think, how do you not? I think this is a very good question. What if you find there's someone that you really do like, you find them interesting, but you find out they are not all that you thought that they would be? Maybe they fall short of certain things, but you really do like them. And, is this a possibility that you don't want to date them anymore? Is this a possibility to say, hey, I want to grow with that person and learn to, grow with that person and just be with them? Do you cut them short, or do you continue to still move forward? That's the question for each and everybody on this call. You can give me a yes, move forward, or no, I wouldn't. If you say no, tell me why. If they fall short, I don't care if it's, hey, they ain't got a job, they don't make enough money, the bedroom is not what it should be. You shouldn't be doing that anyway till you get married, but
right.
Still. Those are the things that people talk about. That's the real thing. Power, money, and sex. That's what happens with people in relationships. They want to know who has control, who has the power, money, who's hey, we have to think about morally. We have to think about character. We have to think about spiritual things when we're dating somebody and we're trying to find out. So what is your deal breaker? What is your deal breaker? What's your deal breaker?
My deal breaker was you gotta have a personal relationship with Christ. Okay, you can't have you just go to church on Christmas, Mother's Day, and Easter. That wasn't working for me. That was not who I felt like the Lord had for me. I needed somebody who had a personal relationship with Christ, because I have a personal relationship with Christ, and I need you to be able to cover me, because I'm going to be able to cover you. So that was my deal breaker. If you didn't have a relationship with the Lord, we couldn't go any other further. It was no. What was your deal breaker?
I mean, as back in the day, it was a whole nother.
Oh, okay. Back in the day, this
You
before you was a
know.
pastor. Let's hear it.
You know, I just first of all, I had an issue with women who did not take care of themselves. Because I feel like, you know, it's just like if you go into a restaurant, if the bathroom is the worst thing, then everything else is bad. If you go into somebody's home and the bathroom is dirty, I'm like, oh man, I'm a little bit of a neat freak. I like
Yes,
to be
he is.
clean and take care of things. But you know, I've learned to compromise because here's the thing, you know, being neat is not going to get you into heaven. Being dirty is, you know, it doesn't matter if you get, you know, it's going to keep you from going to heaven. But is that, can you compromise? You know, I want somebody who's absolutely, who loves Jesus first. And I want somebody who can be able to flex with me, understand that I'm not perfect, and accept my imperfections, but still learn and love me, grow with me, and we can grow together. There are some things I can learn to do that makes you happy and vice versa. And when we learn to do those things and we share those commonalities, then we can grow. We got to have somebody you can grow with. Because if somebody just wants to be with you because of your job, what's going to happen when you lose your job?
Right.
If they want you because of what you can do for them, what's going to happen when you can't do for them? You got to have love and a friendship that stick it close more than anything else.
Yes.
We have to be honest and real with that.
Very good. Very good. I agree with that one. Here's one I think it's a good life lesson that people should learn. Is do not compare yourself. Everyone has a different life and a different perspective. You do not know what struggles or challenges they are facing. It is one of the biggest life lessons that you need to implement in your life, and stop comparing yourself to others. Comments on that one, love? Don't compare yourself to others. Because a lot of people see what people got. Oh, they got this car and I want this car, but you don't know what be going on in these people's pocketbooks. You'll know. So I think that's a good life lesson. Don't compare yourself to others.
Yeah, because they have nice cars don't mean they even have a house.
Yeah.
and you know how a person treats a person, how they treat things means everything. I think in relationships we compare the people that we meet to people who we dated before, and that you have to be very careful with that, because they're their own individual, and if we're comparing them to what they did to what versus somebody else that used to be with did, and that person has no win battle, because you'll always be comparing them with the people in your past. And we have to look down. Sometimes, you know, when I'm counseling, I tell people to write down, you know, the good on one side, the bad on the other side. Write down everything that you like about that person that's good. Write down everything that's bad, that's bad, and find out which one outweighs the other. And then after you find out which one outweighs the other, what are really deal breakers? Because somebody, you know, keeps the toilet seat up, or somebody didn't wash the dishes and then whatnot. That's not for you to break up. That's not for you to do things. That's compromise and some growth. Because over a period of time, they're going to start taking on things that you do, and vice versa.
Right.
And that's where you grow. You have to learn to grow with each other. And if you're not willing to grow with each other, it's only a matter of time.